But while great fun to fly, these machines proved to be non-cost-effective as aerial vehicles and never got beyond prototype stage.
In fact, using only 75 watts of energy, enough for a small light bulb, Hutchison made a 60-pound cannonball rise off the table.
They said it was for our protection, that we weren't ready. But some inventions didn't vanish. They were buried.
Well, some time ago I was doing some testing. I levitated a toy UFO and some other objects. The police came full bore in here with engineers, inspectors. They photographed all the equipments.
Not because they failed, but because they worked too well, locked away, dismantled, forgotten by design. Today, we're bringing you 10 machines the world was never supposed to see. And the first, it terrified the oil industry. Stick around. What you're about to see was never meant to surface. Number 10, the hemp car. It wasn't just a car. It was a declaration of war against steel, oil, and everything Detroit stood for. In 1941, Henry Ford unveiled a prototype made not of metal, but of hemp-based plastic. Stronger than steel, lighter than aluminum, and powered by hemp biofuel, the car defied every industrial norm. Ford struck the fender with an axe on camera. The blade bounced off. Behind the scenes, he imagined a world where farms supplied factories, not oil rigs. But this green dream collided with black gold. Within years, hemp was banned, petroleum surged, and the hemp car vanished into myth. What's rarely mentioned? The composite formula Ford used wasn't just experimental, it was confidential. Even today, no one has fully replicated the exact mix. And with it went the chance at an industrial model that could have reshaped America, one grown, not drilled. The first forbidden technology didn't fail, it threatened to succeed. Number 9. The radiant energy device. Thomas Henry Moray didn't chase lightning, he listened for whispers in the void. In the 1930s, he claimed to tap into a limitless cosmic force he called radiant energy, an ambient, high-frequency power that required no fuel, no combustion, and no wires. His device lit up bulbs, powered motors, and hummed in total silence. Witnesses were stunned. But when Moray refused to sell the secrets to corporate buyers or military men, things turned dark. His lab was raided. His prototype was smashed. He was shot at in his own home. But the wildest part? A mysterious component at the heart of the machine, nicknamed the Swedish Stone, vanished with the wreckage. To this day, no one knows what it was made of. Some believe it wasn't a material at all, but a naturally occurring diode that only Moray knew how to tune. What he discovered didn't just challenge physics, it threatened the energy economy itself, and that made it expendable. Number 8, the Wasp X-Jet. It looked like something out of a comic book, until it actually worked. Developed by Williams International in the 1980s, the Wasp X-Jet was a real-life, single-person VTOL platform that let its pilot hover, spin, and dart in any direction using nothing but balance and throttle. It stayed airborne for 45 minutes, topped 60 miles per hour, and responded to the rider's body like an extension of their own limbs. The United States Army tested it as a potential scout craft, but shelved it as impractical in favor of helicopters. What most people never saw? The X-Jet used a modified cruise missile engine. It had one of the highest thrust-to-weight ratios of any manned vehicle of its era. It wasn't just cool, it was a battlefield revolution waiting to happen. But revolutions aren't always welcome. The X-Jet faded into storage. Its blueprints, never commercialized, too advanced, too free, too hard to control. Number 7, Project XA. In the 1970s, Dr. James D. Mould spent over 2 decades engineering a miracle, a cigarette that didn't cause cancer. Funded by Liggett and Myers, Project XA aimed to neutralize carcinogens using a catalytic mix of palladium and magnesium nitrate. Lab tests were stunning. Mice exposed to the smoke didn't develop tumors. A safer cigarette was possible. But when Liggett's legal team realized what it meant, they pulled the plug. Why? Admitting this worked would mean admitting everything else had always been deadly. The project was buried, Mould was silenced, and the prototype, nicknamed the Palladium cigarette, was never released. Even more chilling, Internal memos revealed the company feared retaliation from other tobacco giants if they broke ranks. So they didn't. Despite $10 million in development and a working solution to one of the deadliest consumer products ever sold, Project XA was killed, not because it failed, but because it worked. And in a courtroom, that was too dangerous to exist. Number 6. The Hutchison Effect. In the 1980s, Canadian inventor John Hutchison created chaos in a lab, and the laws of physics seemed to surrender. Using overlapping electromagnetic fields, he claimed to produce anti-gravity effects, cold fusion reactions, and bizarre metal anomalies, warped steel, levitating objects, spontaneous fusion of unlike materials. The phenomenon, dubbed the Hutchison Effect, was filmed, witnessed, and then quietly dismissed. But then things got stranger. After a visit from military officials, Hutchison's equipment was confiscated, replication attempts stalled, and his lab, raided, dismantled, shut down. He claimed he was warned never to reproduce the full experiment. Some footage still exists, grainy, surreal, inexplicable. Engineers and skeptics alike debate whether it was a hoax, a misinterpretation, or a breakthrough so destabilizing it had to be erased. Because if matter can float, bend, and fuse in midair, what else becomes possible? And who controls it? Number 5. The Starlight Material. It survived nuclear heat, laser blasts, and direct flames hotter than 10,000 degrees Celsius. And then, like so many miracles before it, starlight disappeared. Invented in the 1980s by Maurice Ward, a British hairdresser with no formal science training, starlight was a lightweight, flexible material that could withstand temperatures that melted steel. On live television, it protected an egg from a blowtorch. The egg didn't even cook. NASA showed interest, so did Boeing, but Ward refused to hand over the formula without retaining control. He didn't trust them, and maybe he was right. After Ward's death in 2011, Starlight died with him. He never revealed the full formula, fearing corporate theft or military misuse, and no one has been able to reproduce it since. A material that could have revolutionized fire safety, aerospace, even space travel, vanished, not stolen, not banned, just buried in one man's memory. Sometimes, what's forbidden isn't taken, it's protected. Number 4. The chronovisor. Time travel was never the goal, just observation, or so claimed Father Pellegrino Ernitti, a Benedictine monk and scientist who in the 1960s said he co-developed the chronovisor, a device that could view and record past events by detecting residual electromagnetic echoes from history itself. With a team of scientists, allegedly including Enrico Fermi, he said they witnessed Napoleon's speeches, Rome's imperial processions, even the crucifixion of Christ. And then, silence. The Vatican reportedly ordered the device dismantled and sealed its existence under a classified directive. Ernetti later recanted, then hinted it was under pressure. He died in 1994. No device has surfaced, no proof confirmed, but leaked notes describe a machine disturbingly plausible. Arrays of antennae, exotic alloys, audio harmonics tuned to the frequency of time's imprint. If true, the chronovisor didn't just threaten science, it threatened doctrine, and that may have made it the most forbidden technology of all, one that could rewrite not physics, but belief. Number 3. The Brown-Beefield Effect. In the 1920s, physicist Thomas Townsend Brown discovered something odd. When he charged a special capacitor at high voltage, it didn't just hum, it moved, upward, against gravity. He called it electrogravitics. And it wasn't theory, it was a lab phenomenon. With his mentor, Dr. Paul Biefeld, Brown demonstrated propulsion without combustion, without moving parts, without fuel. Then came the Air Force. Brown's work was absorbed into black budget programs. Decades later, leaked documents referenced Biefeld-Brown type propulsion, but stripped his name from the credits. His patents remained open, but his breakthroughs sealed behind military silence. What few realize is that Brown filed over 40 patents describing field propulsion systems, some resembling the shape and flight behavior of modern-day UFO sightings. Whether it was suppressed or simply rebranded for defense, one thing is clear. His work didn't vanish. It was taken. Disappeared not from science, but from the public. Number 2. The acoustic levitation weapon. Sound can kill. Not metaphorically, literally. During the Cold War, both American and Soviet researchers explored acoustic weapons that harnessed extreme low-frequency sound waves to affect human biology. The goal? Create invisible attacks that left no trace. Some frequencies caused nausea, others induced disorientation, organ rupture, or unconsciousness. One Soviet experiment allegedly liquefied animal tissue using sound alone. In the United States, researchers built infrasonic chambers that made test subjects panic, vomit, or collapse, then sealed the results. The Pentagon labeled such work non-lethal, but eyewitnesses spoke of permanent damage, psychological trauma, and black site testing. The most disturbing part? Patents for portable infrasonic rifles exist. Some were granted, others revoked. And the public never saw a single working model, because a gun you can't hear, that leaves no hole, no smoke, no proof, isn't just a weapon. It's a denial machine. And in the wrong hands, it doesn't silence victims. It erases them. Number 1, the Pace effect. In 2016, a quiet United States Navy patent sent shockwaves through aerospace circles. Filed by engineer Salvatore Paso, it described a craft that could reduce its own inertial mass using high-energy electromagnetic fields, essentially allowing it to accelerate at impossible speeds without crushing its occupants. The device could function in air, water, even space. It defied conventional propulsion logic. The United States Patent Office initially rejected it until the Navy stepped in, verified it as operable, and approved it under national security classification. Then the research trail went dark. Pace has since disappeared from public work. His patents remain cryptic, math-heavy, and unsettling. One describes a compact nuclear fusion reactor. Another, a plasma compression field generator. He called them the future of mankind. But that future hasn't arrived, or maybe it's been rerouted. When gravity itself becomes optional, so does secrecy. And in that moment, you're not just bending space, you're bending control. Some inventions rewrote what was possible. Others were silenced before we ever saw them. But the truth never stays buried forever. If you're still watching, you're already part of the question. So, stay curious, stay skeptical, and subscribe. We're just getting started.